You know what? If I was Jamal Murray, I would have went for the 52.
Yes.
I mean, it's not every day you can go out and get 50. I only scored 50 once in my career. So, I mean, I understand Kyrie's frustration. You know, it's just a basketball rule. At the end of the game, you don't take the shot. It's an unspoken rule, especially when you're leading, not to take the shot. And that's probably, you know, why he got upset.
Is that about the 50, or is that about the fact that Kyrie is frustrated because they're 6-4, they've lost 2 in a row, they haven't looked great, trying to just – get everybody, into the mix with Gordon Hayward and others, not to mention how Toronto is looking.
It's a combination of all that because, Boston should be a lot better than they are right now, and they will be because they're trying to figure out the chemistry issues with Kyrie, Gordon Hayward back. They're so deep. They got to understand each and every night it's going to be a different person. It's not like you have a team where you're like, this is our leading scorer, you guys fall in line. They have so many guys that can score, and Tatum, Brown, Gordon.
Who did you pick coming out of the East at the start of this season? What was your preseason prediction?
Boston Celtics. Based on what they did last year, pushing Cleveland to Game 7 without Kyrie and Gordon, they have to be the obvious.
And how are you feeling now?
I still feel good about them.
Okay.
Toronto, they're good, but Boston, they need a little more time. They're still implementing those guys. Like I said, Kyrie and Gordon, these guys are coming off surgeries, being out all last year, most of last year. So I think in the end, in a 7-game series, they're going to be a tough
I think one of the reasons people didn't like Toronto more is we saw what happened to them last year, but the difference is they didn't have a best player good enough. Now they got Kawhi as their best player.
You don't think DeRozan was good enough?
No, not good enough to be the best player on a team gets you to the finals. No, he's not. He's not good enough. He's really good. He's not good enough. There are levels to this, Paul, as you know. Hall of Famer. You know how that goes. So the point is that let's put aside the Raptors, who it's going to come down to them and the Celtics, except that I saw the Celtics basically not miss a 3 through 3/4 of a game at home against Milwaukee. And it came down to basically a 1-possession game. How much of a threat is Milwaukee right now to these guys?
Well, they're a threat because they have the best player in the Eastern Conference. I mean, the Greek Freak, he's playing out of his mind. To me, he's the most versatile player in the game right now. I mean, his athleticism, he's gotten better, he's matured, he's had his playoff woes from last year, the year before, from him getting knocked out early, and he's matured beyond belief, and he's taking this team to the next step. You have to give credit to Coach Bud also. I think he's really transformed that team into an offensive threat. They're shooting a 3 better, so they're definitely a threat in the East.
Has anybody noticed that we entered this season talking about Toronto and Boston and just everybody else in the East, to adding Milwaukee into the equation, but also minimizing Philly? Philly has sort of fallen off in our mind's eye. We're not even thinking about them in the conversation of the top 3 teams in the East.
Yeah, I think they lost. I think they took steps back. The additions they had with Ilyasova, the shooting they lacked this year. They don't have the same shooting. Then they're trying to implement Fultz into his role this year. I think they took a couple steps back, even though Ben Simmons probably got better. Embiid got better, but just their depth isn't the same.
I'm worried about, excuse me for the second, because I brought up Fultz for a reason. I don't want to hear any more excuses about this guy. I really, really don't. I mean, listen, I understand he's only a second-year player, and he only came back. He only played just a handful, a few games last year at the tail end of the season. But this dude, I mean, it's, Paul, I don't think I've ever seen this in all my years of covering the NBA. They were actually cheering when he made a 3-point shot earlier this season. They actually damn near gave him a standing ovation for making a 3. That is as bad as it gets. How concerned should we be about Fultz?
To be the #1 pick, I think, they're looking like, man, we could have had Jason Tatum at that spot.
They traded a pick with the spot.
Oh, man, he would have been the perfect player in that system with those guys.
They looked at Tatum and said, "No, we'll give you extra to turn Tatum into this dude."
Now you're talking about building a core around Embiid, Simmons, and Tatum.
The only part I think y'all missing is this. Boston had the #1 pick. They were going to take Tatum. It's just that Danny Ainge knew that he could hoodwink the Sixers into getting a first-round pick,
let me tell you
but still ended up getting Jason Tatum.
Well, I'm saying that then when they traded up, they should have taken Tatum.
Right. Danny Ainge is the finesse king.
That's right.
He's just finessing these GMs around the league, and I don't even know. He's a genius out here.
No
man.
question.
I don't know how he keeps doing it.